I didn't put a post up yesterday because it was just the ultimate in boring days. I mean, literally, nothing went on. We were waiting for something, and I'll tell you more about that after. But that's why I didn't put up a post. It was like, why put up a vlog that I don't have anything to put up about? So that's that. Well, looks like we might be getting some weather, huh? Got some rain last night. Not enough, and we could use some more, so that's fine. I don't know if we're going to have electrical storms going with this, or it's just going to be rain, or down here you can never tell. You might get nothing. So remember earlier I told you yesterday was today was almost 2. So what I was hoping was going to happen today didn't happen. Tomorrow will be like 3 weeks. So, you know, again, I'm hoping. But that happens a lot here. It's just you're wanting something to come through, and, you know, being American, you're like, okay, well, this isn't, you know, like building, I don't know, the Empire State Building. This is something that should be relatively easy. But yet, nope, takes forever, takes forever, takes forever. So anyway, today I was going to talk to you about, you know, there's a big difference here. Sid and I haven't been tourists in a long time. We live on Cupid's Key, which is a little, I mean, maybe it's 50, 60 acres. It's not that big. We live in the community. We know the people. You know, when you come on vacation and you've got, ooh, nice sailboat coming in, Sid. Yeah, that's a nice one. Big double masted with a, like a cabiny thing and private boat. I'm never good at telling. I got distracted there, but
There is a jet ski with a
yeah, I told you there was a jet ski with a water skier on it. That's a good sized boat, huh? Look at the back of that sailboat. This is a sailboat. I'll show you. I'll try to get a picture of it. Hold on one second, okay?
Yeah. Oh, you fell down.
That is one big sailboat. Okay, like I said, big sailboat. I'm gonna miss that, but that's how life goes. So Sid and I have never been really tourists here. I mean, even when we came here many years back, when we had the house up north, local people used to stop in all the time. It was, you know, almost every night. And we got to, you know the people and everything else. And then when we moved over here to Cupid's Key, which is a smaller place, Governor's Harbor and everything else, you end up knowing a lot of people. You know, goods and bads. You know about them. They know about you, what you do, or they think they do. And it's a whole different thing when you live in a place and you're part of that place, as opposed to, like, people come here, and I know tons of them. They have their vacation house and they come from, you know, say December to April or May or whatever. And they go to the beach and they read and they just, you know, sort of hang out for 3 or 4 months. But they have no idea what this place is all about. And I can tell you, if I lived here for another 1,000 years, I probably still wouldn't know everything of how it really works. But it's a very different place when you're not on vacation. There's so many little nuances and different cultural things that you just don't get when you're on vacation. And I mean, some of them good, some of them bad. But you don't get that when you're not part of a place. When you just come and you just sit and you go to the beach and blah, 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 and you think everything's wonderful. you don't really understand what this place is about. You don't understand how the economy works or doesn't work, how many people don't have jobs, that we call it, there's a tree in town, and a lot of the local, I don't know how you describe them, we call it the human resource tree. So, you know all these things because, okay, you need somebody to clean up your yard or whatever. You go to the human resource tree and say, hey, you want to come do some work for a little while? Usually nothing too complicated, by the way. There's a lot of spiritual intake under the tree, and I don't mean this kind. Right, the tree happens to be very conveniently located next to the liquor store. So, there's all these things. You know who does what. You know all the different people, their traits, and then people end up telling you things about other people, and you know this and you know that, and da-da-da-da-da. So it makes it a very interesting, not boring in any way, because there's always, believe me, there is always something going on around here. You can get up on the quay at like 3 o'clock in the morning, go to the bathroom, look out the window and go, well, why the hell's he walking around? And you also get to know, I mean, living in this little place, you get to know, I can tell people's engines. I can tell their voices. So-and-so is out front. What are they making all that noise? There's all different words. Oh, it's just a little spry. Don't worry, you won't get too wet. It's just spitting rain now. There's all different little things like that, like, oh boy, they're having a row. They're having an argument. So there's all that kind of stuff, and you just don't get that. You don't understand that if you're not part of a place.
Off the chain!
Yeah, like... There's just a lot of different things, and you pick up all those things just being part of it. When you're not, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it gives you a whole different perspective when you're not a tourist. That when you're part of some place, you understand the culture of those people, what they go through, how their lives work, or in some cases don't work. How many people drink too much, or how many people don't have jobs. It just gives you a whole different perspective on things.
People don't have water or electricity?
Right. I mean, there's a lot of people here that people wouldn't know. They have no water. They have no electricity. None. Zero. Zilch.
But they are clean
Yeah.
and put together every day.
Yep. And so you wouldn't know that. I mean, you'd see some people and you'd say, oh, yeah, they must have water and electricity and blah, blah, blah. They don't. But yet they still remain clean. They get water from public taps or wherever, and they do perfectly fine. And overall, they're very happy. And I mean, that's one of those things that it's like, okay, I know people who basically have nothing. I mean, they have a shelter maybe. And some of these people, a shelter is really stretching the imagination on it. And they're happy every day. I mean, one of the things that you'll hear here all the time is, so how's things going? Well, two things you'll hear on that one. How's things going? Right here. Which means I haven't keeled over and died. I'm still here. Or, thank God for life. So it's you don't learn those things. You don't understand the culture. So if you come down here and you can try to interact with the local people on a more than just tourist level, do it. You'll be, the more time you spend doing it, the more you'll understand what this place is about, and how it really is a hard place. I mean, it's, kind of hate to say it, but Darwin was right. It's very much a survival of the fittest, and that fittest thing a lot of times in a human society doesn't work. Maybe in the animal kingdom, but we'll talk about that another time. So if you come down here, try not to just be a tourist. Interact with people. Find out more about them. You'll be amazed of what really life is here, because it's not all drinks with umbrellas and everything else when you're a local.